Good Monday afternoon. It's 3 p.m. here on the East Coast, and it is the 14th of September. And I'm coming to you live from our kitchen in my mom's house. In about 2 weeks from today, I will be in the dorms back in Athens. Last Tuesday, I did get confirmation. I don't know if I said that on Friday's show because we were kind of busy talking about other stuff on Friday. But about 2 weeks from now, I should be coming to you live from Athens. So yeah, we're going to get into some interesting news from the NFL here in a little bit, but we're going to talk about tennis. Over the weekend was the U.S. Open for men's and women's, as we talked about on Friday. Novak Djokovic got ejected for hitting a ref, or line judge actually, with a tennis ball. Whether it was on purpose or not, we won't really know. But we're going to talk about how Naomi Osaka, who won the women's U.S. Open, wore a Kobe Bryant jersey after her match, how she has been every match in the U.S. Open. She also was the winner of the women's U.S. Open. It truly gave her strength during that time. She wore it during the trophy presentation or after when she was walking on the court. So yeah, we're going to move on to some UFC news. First of all, this came out Friday afternoon after I had already done the show, but Conor McGregor was tested by USADA on his yacht on Friday. He's still in the testing pool and is still considered an active UFC fighter. So that's interesting that he is considered an active UFC fighter and everything. With that means, just because him and Dana White have an agreement that he's retired doesn't mean that, I guess he can't go and sign with Bellator, obviously. Even though that probably won't happen. But obviously, maybe if Brock Lesnar does want to go, maybe he'll put on the weight and go fight Brock. And then also Friday evening, we heard that Chris Cyborg is going to return to the octagon to defend her Bellator title on October 15th. So about a month from today. So. And then finally, Michelle Waterson won over the weekend via split decision, though. So, yeah, that's your little UFC news. Real quick, we're going to go to the NHL. This happened Friday, really. It's just some free agency news. I'm surprised this is the only NHL news besides, the updating of the conference finals is almost about ready. But the 2020 draft will be held virtually on October 6th through the 7th, and free agency will begin 2 days later on October 9th. So now we know when the draft and free agency will start for the NHL. We're still waiting, I think, on... Well, no, we're not, because we know when the NBA is going to do theirs, but I think we're waiting on an exact start date for the next season. I know in NBA 2K21, when you start playing, and when you get up to the pro level, they do start in December. Your first game, they don't have a preseason. They are factoring that in your My Career. The whole COVID, they have it all. They're talking about it and everything. So, the MLB approved plans and is waiting for the MLB union to okay them. The Rangers their new stadium will host the World Series. The NLDS will be hosted by the Astros and the Rangers parks, and the ALDS will be hosted by the Padres and the Dodgers. So something that me and Justin had talked about. That's good that the ALDS will be hosted at, the divisional series at least will be hosted at two separate parks. It doesn't say anything about this AL and NLCS, whether those will be at a certain park or not. I didn't look into it, but I should have. Obviously, that was announced Friday also. And yesterday, we had our second no-hitter of the year. It was the first for the Cubs since the no-hitter for Jake Arrieta in 2016 when Alec Mills threw against the Brewers. Congratulations. It's the second one this season. So, and now we're going to go we have no college news. There were games. A lot of them were lopsided again. It seemed like the ACC started, and I think the Big 12 was in full swing now. And we're still this weekend. We're still without the SEC. I believe they start next weekend. So, but on to the WNBA and NBA news. The NBA buses that were carrying media of league officials to the bubble were being blocked on last night, I guess it was, by protesters. I'm not 100% sure. I did not look why they were blocking them and what kind of protesters they were. Let's see. And then Rajon Rondo's brother, William Rondo, was asked to leave Game 5 after trash-talking Westbrook. Very funny, I think. So, Mike D'Antonio was informed the Rockets yesterday afternoon that he will not be coming back as their head coach and that he will be testing the free agency market as a head coach. It's funny to hear a coach say, I'm going to become a free agent, because that's the actual terms he used. It's interesting, especially with how much they've done, especially with he has Westbrook and Harden. I don't know how much longer that will last, though. And then the Aces earned the number 1 seed in the WNBA playoffs as they beat the Storm 86-84. They finished the regular season on a 6-game playoff winning streak. The playoff starts tomorrow. We'll go over that here in a little bit. Oh, and I guess I forgot to put this with the other tennis, but Dominic Thiemann won the men's U.S. Open for his first majors title. And then Paul Gasol and his wife had a newborn daughter, and they honored Kobe and his late daughter Gianna by giving her the middle name of Gianna. So that's very nice. And now we're going to go to the playoffs for the WNBA and get that all looked at real quick. We're gonna So like I did say already that the playoffs are going to be on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC. It looks like the first rounds are going to be single elimination, and so are the second round. And then once you get to the semifinals, you will be playing best of 5, and they are going to hopefully be done by October 11th. Both the semifinals and finals are going to be best of 5 series. So it looks like, trying to find the actual bracket. So the 6 and 7 is 6 seed is the Sky, the Sun, or the 7. The 5-8 matchup is number 5 Mercury versus the 8 Mystics, which is crazy that the Mystics are that low. Number 3 is the Los Angeles Sparks, and number 4 is Minnesota. So we'll start off on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on ESPN2 with 7-6 matchup Connecticut and Chicago at 7, followed by Washington Phoenix, both single elimination games. And then number 4 and number 3 will host the winners of those in single elimination games in the second rounds. And then Las Vegas and Seattle are the 1 and 2 seeds. As we already said, Las Vegas got the 1 seed. Seattle got the number 2 seed. Basically, that game was for the 1 and 2 seed. We'll find out the semifinals after Thursday. So we'll have games tonight, and then we'll have games Thursday, and then starting on Sunday on ESPN at 1, and then ABC at 3. We'll have games 1 of both the semifinals going off. So now we're back to the news, and we're going to finish up with the National Football League, who kicked off their 101st season this past Thursday. Friday, after we already did the show, Stephon Gilmore of the New England Patriots, who is the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, gained a raise of $10.5 million, or gained a $5 million raise with a chance to actually get up to $17.5 million, including incentives. Basically, this is getting more money now than he would later in his contract, is what was explained when they were interviewing a guy from the NFL Network on the Pat McAfee show on Saturday, that Alvin Kamara and the Saints finalized a 5-year extension, which made him able to want to play. He obviously played Sunday. And then the Vikings and running back Dalvin Cook agreed to a 5-year, $62.5 million extension. A lot of running backs are getting paid right now, so they won't be going on the free agency market. Another thing about the Saints is if Drew Brees would have retired last season and gone to the booth, we might have seen Tom Brady in New Orleans instead of Tampa Bay, which might have actually done better than for him with a more, I guess, a better roster. Jamie Collins, who's now playing for the Detroit Lions, was ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct after making contact with an official's chest with his helmet. And then this just came out today. The NFL threatens discipline over masks because some of the coaches were not wearing their mask on the sidelines like they were supposed to. They sent out a memo to the whole league. So that is going on. I'm going to check if we have anything just in. The new AP poll did just come out. I forgot about that. Let's go over it real quick, because there is some crazy things that did come out of the AP poll. I forgot about that. Let's see. With all the things that happened and all the big 10 teams and Pac-12 teams that fell out because they're not playing at all this year. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. I think, yeah, this is it. So number 1 is still Clemson. Number 2 is Alabama, even though they don't play till the 26th. Number 3, Oklahoma. Number 4, Georgia, who has not yet played. Number 5 is Florida, who's still not played. The defending national champs are 6th. Notre Dame is 7th. Auburn 8th. Number 9, Texas. Number 10, Texas A&M. So a lot of SEC schools are in the top 10, even without playing yet. 11, Oklahoma State, who should have already played, but they've had some of their games postponed. Number 12, North Carolina. Number 13 is Cincinnati. That's your first group of 5 school. They've moved all the way up without playing yet. Number 14 is UCF, who has also not played yet. Tennessee, number 15. Memphis, who has played, is number 16. So you have 3 ACC or American schools who's considered the group of 5, even though they say they make it the Power 6. Are up there. The University of Miami is number 17. Louisville is ranked at 18th. Then you have Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, at 19. They are your highest Sun Belt Conference team. After they upset Iowa State, they have made it for becoming they scored their first win over a ranked opponent since 1996. So they haven't won since before I was born. And this is their first time ever being ranked because of it. Obviously, if the Big Ten and the Pac-12 were playing, they probably would not have been ranked. Then you have Virginia Tech at 20, BYU at 21, Army, who's 2-0 at 22. Kentucky, who has still not played a game, is ranked. We'll see if that happens going into their week 1 game. You have Appalachia State is ranked, coming off a 59 or coming off a win against Eastern Kentucky, who Marshall beat 59-0 in their first game. Also, let's see. And rounding out at number 25 is the University of Pittsburgh. So you have 2 Sun Belt teams and 3 American Conference teams, making their 5 group of 5 schools in there. Cincinnati has the best chance, besides UCF, at making it probably into the playoff, I would think. Let's see. Just gonna double check. We're gonna see if we can find. I'm gonna see if I can find the. 1 second. We're going to pull up the top 25 rankings on here. And then we're going to see who was just outside of the top 25 with getting votes. Also. Here we go. So according to the AP Top 25, Baylor would have been 26. So according to, we're going to bring this off to the side here, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to talk a little more about this. So here we are. So this is the AP Top 25 right here. And then over here on the right screen is the coaches poll. So right here you have LSU at 5 and Florida at 6. They have them switched between the coaches and AP. Then you have Notre Dame. You have Auburn and Texas flipped. North Carolina is higher in the coaches poll. You have UCF and Cincinnati flipped. Memphis is 15th and Tennessee is 17th. Both of them have Louisiana Lafayette and App State ranked. They both have 3 American Conference teams ranked. So here's what we were looking down here. They both have Iowa State dropping from the rankings. In the AP, Iowa State was 23rd. In the coaches, they were 25th. Receiving votes, we're going to see Baylor, West Virginia, Georgia Tech, and TCU. So possibly those could be our next teams going in, as they were receiving the most. TCU receiving 49-69 for Georgia Tech. Most likely Baylor would be ranked next, and then West Virginia. Some of the group of 5 schools that were receiving votes include Arkansas State at 39 or 34. You have SMU at 32. South Florida at 6. UAB at 4. Marshall at 2. Houston at 1. Air Force received 2. I did not look and see how many games they are playing. Let's see. In the coaches poll, you have a lot of the same teams still up there, but they do not have. They have Pittsburgh not ranked in their poll. So while we're doing this, we're going to look up our Air Force. They're only playing those 2 games against Navy and Army. Okay. Well, we're going to just finish that off. And I think that's it for today. We will see you most likely on Friday, maybe Wednesday. I doubt it. Just depends on how much news there is this week. Until then, have a good rest of your week. Subscribe, notifications, like, comment, Instagram in the description, and we'll see you next time. Have a good rest of your day and have a good rest of your week.